Brought to you by Charity Mobile. Switch to the phone company that supports your beliefs. All plans start under $50 before taxes and surcharges. Use promo code TRADITION at CharityMobile.com for a special offer. We return now to our periodic examination of what fathers of the church had to say about the man of sin, the AntiChrist. As I've said in my previous installments of this informal series, the AntiChrist is not your least favorite politician. He is not some super charismatic secular figure that you are uncomfortable with. He is a very specific person. We don't know who he is yet. The fathers of the church tell us that he will come from the tribe of Dan. The prophet Daniel says he will come from his own tribe, the tribe of Dan. That means he is one of our elder brothers in the faith. That's hard for many to accept. The church fathers agreed with the prophet Daniel universally. They all said the same thing. The man of sin will be accepted as their Messiah because our elder brothers don't accept Jesus Christ as the Messiah. Here is some more on the Antichrist from some saints and early Christian writers. From Lactantius circa 310 AD. Nero would again reappear on earth as a messenger and forerunner of the evil one, coming for the devastation of the earth and the overturning of the human race. There will arise an impious king, hostile not only to mankind, but also to God. He will trample upon, torment, harass, and put an end those who have been spared by that former tyrant. Then there will be ever-flowing tears, perpetual wailings and lamentations, and useless prayers to God. There will be no rest from fear, no sleep for a respite. The day will always increase disaster, the night alarm. Thus the world will be reduced almost to solitude, certainly to fewness of men. Then also the impious man will persecute the just, and those who are dedicated to God, and will give orders that he himself shall be worshipped as God. For he will say that he is Christ, though he will be his adversary. That he may be believed, he will receive the power of doing wonders, so that fire may descend from heaven, the sun retire from his course, and the image which he shall have set up may speak. And by these prodigies he shall entice many to worship him, and to receive his sign in their hand or forehead. He who shall not worship him and receive his sign will die with refined afflictions. Thus he will destroy nearly 2 parts. The third will flee into desolate solitudes. But he, frantic and raging with implacable anger, will lead an army and besiege the mountain to which the righteous shall have fled. And when they shall see themselves besieged, they will implore the aid of God with a loud voice, and God shall hear them, and shall send to them a deliverer. The Antichrist, according to St. Hilary. Antichrist will teach that Christ was an impostor and not the real Son of God. To St. Ephraim. When Antichrist begins to rave, our elder brothers will doubt if he is really the Messiah. He will then remove them from office and treat many of them worse even than the Christians. Antichrist will use worldly goods as bait. He will entice many Christians with money and goods to apostatize. He will give them free land, riches, honor, and power. The devil will help him find all the hidden treasures of the world, even those at the bottom of the oceans. With those treasures he will attain greater success for the reign of Satan than at any time in past centuries. The waters will be firm as a rock under his feet, and apparently at his command rivers and creeks will change their course, so that the water will for a time flow up instead of downstream. The Antichrist, according to St. Cyril of Jerusalem. Antichrist will exceed in malice, perversity, lust, wickedness, impiety, and heartless cruelty and barbarity, all men that have ever disgraced the human race. Hence St. Paul emphatically calls him the man of sin, the son of perdition, the wicked one, whose birth and coming is through the operation of Satan, in all manner of seduction of iniquity. He shall, through his great power, deceit, and malice, succeed in decoying or forcing to his worship 2/3 of mankind. The remaining third part of men will most steadfastly continue true to the faith and worship of Jesus Christ. But in his satanic rage and fury, Antichrist will persecute these brave and devout Christians during 3 years and a half, and afflict them with such an extremity of barbarity, with all the old and his newly invented instruments of pain, as to exceed all past persecutors of the church combined. He will oblige all his followers to bear impressed upon their foreheads or right hands the mark of the beast, and will starve all those who refuse to receive it. See the Apocalypse, chapter 13, verse 16. The Antichrist, according to Sulpicius Severus, from the Life of St. Martin of Tours. Various features about St. Martin's teaching concerning the end of the world, as Sulpicius reported Gallus stating it, were condemned by St. Jerome by the so-called Galatian decree. But this section of the works of Sulpicius has been consistently read by responsible Catholics. As is evident, we are not the first generation to fear that Antichrist was very near. Quoting him directly, in Spain, a young man who had made a name for himself through many signs and wonders gave himself out to be Elias. He then went further and said that he was Christ. Again, many reported to us that in the East someone boasted that he was John. From the appearance of pseudo-prophets of this kind, we can conjecture that the coming of Antichrist is imminent, those persons serving as advance agents for him of the mystery of iniquity. One day we asked Martin about the end of the world. He said that Nero and the Antichrist would come first. Nero would subdue 10 kings and rule in the regions of the West. A persecution he was to impose would go so far as to require the worship of heathen idols. The Antichrist would first seize the empire of the East. He would have Jerusalem as his seat and imperial capital. Both the city and its temple were to be rebuilt by him. His persecution would require the denial of Christ's divinity, he himself pretending to be Christ, and would by law impose circumcision on all. Finally, Nero himself was to perish at the hands of the Antichrist. In this way, the whole world and all its people would be brought under the latter's yoke, until at Christ's coming the impious impostor would be overcome. There was no doubt in Martin's mind that Antichrist, begotten by the evil spirit, was already born and had now come to the years of boyhood, awaiting the legal age of assuming his empire. This we heard Martin say 8 years ago, in AD 396. It is for you to judge how near to us now are those fearful events to come. I like that Father R. Gerald Culleton, who is the compiler of these prophetic warnings, included that last one. Many people, many Christians, practically since our Lord's resurrection, have assumed we were in the end times. Reading signs and wonders, reading prophecies of various kinds, to assume that any day now the man of sin would arrive. Perhaps we live in the time that he will. It is, however, more probable that you will one day stand before our Lord in judgment through the normal course of earthly affairs. After all, our Lord does warn us, no man knows the hour, only the Father knows the hour. Something to keep in mind as you see others start talking about how nigh it is that Catholic prophecy is going to be fulfilled. Live every day as if you will stand before our Lord in judgment. Live every day as if, through the natural course of affairs, you will stand before our Lord. And if you do that, if you foster in this life virtue, sanctity, and you learn the faith and become steadfast in the faith, then should the man of sin arrive, you won't be tempted to apostatize, or at least you'll be able to withstand the temptations I'll face. You won't be taken in by the man of sin. That's all the preparation you probably need for his arrival. But I'm curious what you think about all this, so let me know in the comments, please. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't. It certainly helps. Sharing this on social media helps too. And as always, pray for the church. I'm Anthony Stine. Ave Maria.